Hope you're all having a good evening. I'm just sitting here hanging out, hoping none of my neighborly skunks come strolling through. That would be something. Entertainment for you guys, not so much for myself, I would say. Hope y'all doing well. No work boots now. Sitting out here in probably some of the most comfortable shoes I've worn. Hanging out by this here fire. That's it. Just a relaxing evening. Hope you're all doing good. Hopefully you can wind down from your Monday rush. It's beautiful out right now. A little overcast. Can't quite see the stars. I don't even know what the temperature is. I'm gonna see if I can't find it on my watch here, maybe. About 64 degrees here in upstate New York. Just kind of hoping none of the residential skunks that live by my place come strolling through. You guys swing by or you hang out for any amount of time, smash that thumbs up for me. Normally we're chainsaw carving and creating art like we were a few hours ago, but sometimes this is the other side of it. If you guys don't feel like chatting, no big deal. Grab yourself a cold drink, glass of water, or shiny can, and enjoy the fire and hang out. Thanks for the thumbs up. Appreciate it. If I'm out here in a zero gravity chair, so if you guys hear me snoring, somebody just yell through the screen to wake me up, okay? Yeah, dead dad. I was wondering if anybody was gonna see him over there. We carved him up the other day. Thought it'd be fun to stick him on the other side of the fire pit. CD. I don't know what you're saying. Of you hanging out. Hopefully you guys can enjoy this time, just chilling. Smash that thumbs up if you're here. $22, no kidding. Wasn't sure how many would get on a live feed just sitting by a fire. Feel free to comment where you guys are from, what kind of weather you have this evening. Kicked back in my zero gravity chair here, and I can see a little bit of open space. Couple stars peeking through these clouds. Couple stars. Yes, sir, it is a good night for a fire. What's going on, Storm? Just relaxing. Was live earlier, carving with everybody. We carved for 88 minutes live. It's pretty cool. We hit over 13,000 viewers, which is pretty awesome. Love seeing those new big numbers lately on YouTube. Super cool, reaching new people. I think we took in over 100 subscribers on today's live, so that was that was quite an amazing thing to be carving live and have. Oh no, I think it was about 100 subscribers. Really cool. Yeah, thank you. I think they will. I think so. That one's got a lot of moisture, so that might sit till Thursday before I finish it up. The other ones, though, those logs were pretty dry when I got them. The trees had been cut early summer, and the guy that hooked me up with them was just kind of clearing the property out. They had been off the ground in a pile of other logs, so they weren't even in the dirt soaking up mud or nothing, so mud and water, so they kind of air dried a lot, which is pretty nice. Especially when you're a last minute carver like myself. You gotta knock out some pumpkins for people. Never seems like I can get ahead on the pumpkin game. Chunks of wood from the shop out here. Like I said, guys, feel free to grab a cold one and hang out. Cold glass of water if that's your thing. Don't matter. Enjoy the evening. Thought we'd do a little test run here tonight and see how many viewers we get, just kicking back, having some casual conversation and sitting by the fire. We may do this more often, weather permitting. And who knows, if we get good turnout, maybe we'll do this once or twice in a foot of snow if we get it this year. It might be pretty fun. Tomorrow I gotta start a 4-foot bear carving. About 4.5 foot with the base. Gonna be a bear with a paw up on top of a stump. Stump will say welcome, and the bear will be holding a trout by the tail. It's a custom order, so I gotta start that tomorrow. I won't be able to go live working on it from the carving yard because the cell service and internet connection there is just horrible. But we'll be making a time-lapse video of that, and who knows, if we have good weather, maybe we'll be back out here for another fire. Absolutely, Tony. Thanks for stopping by. Hey, 4 thumbs up. I appreciate you guys. If you're watching, hit that thumbs up. It is 7:54 p.m. 7:54 p.m. What time is it where you are? Everybody can chime in, no big deal. Smash the thumbs up, hit subscribe. Leave a comment where you're from, what's the temperature, or what's the weather like, and what time is it? It's always cool questions to ask because, boy, earlier we had people watching from all over the world, literally. That was pretty cool. Those live events really are something else. I mean, I've had people from Russia, UK, where else? I've had people from Israel. I've had people from Australia, Scotland, New Zealand. Everybody from the US and in between, which is pretty cool. 5:54. Where are you located? I'm in upstate New York. You're a couple hours behind me. You're gonna be out west somewhere. You know, Tony, I hate that time of year. I don't mind the chill, the cold weather. I don't even mind the snow, to be honest. I hate having to set my clocks back and it's dark by 6:30. Like you said, 5:30, sun's going down. 6:30, it's dark out like this, it seems like. Southern Idaho, yeah. If anybody else wants to join in, commenting where you're from. What time is it? Where you at? What's the weather like tonight? I was saying earlier, we got a little overcast, a few clouds blowing through. I get to see the stars every once in a while. Got some crickets going out here. We got quite a few skunks on the property. Hoping we don't have any of those visitors this evening. That would be that would be something else, wouldn't it? A few skunks blasting through here, getting sprayed while I'm live. Although it would be interesting if he sprayed it just right to see if his spray is flammable when it's in the spray form. That would be that part might be cool to see. Baby kisses, thanks for being here. Also, thanks for being a member. Appreciate you hitting join and being a member to the channel. If you guys see people commenting with symbols next to their name, like the big fan or a coffee cup, they help contribute to the channel every month, and I appreciate it. Oh, somebody's coming back. Who's up there? I'm live on YouTube. What are you doing? Nothing. You want to join? There's a chair right there. I'm leaning against the tree. You can set one up right here next to me, man.
I didn't come out here to do.
Oh no, what'd you come out here to do?
It's nice if I could have a bowl of cereal.
A bowl of cereal? Oh my gosh. I don't know, it depends what cereal you're gonna have.
I don't know.
I don't know. Yes it is.
Are you getting bit by mosquitoes?
No sir, that's why I got jeans and a long sleeve on. Did you see my friend on the other side of the fire?
Yeah. I wonder if there's a cat or anything.
A cat, yeah, we've had quite a few strays too. I was thinking we'd have a skunk come through.
You just probably can't see him. He might be like right there.
Yeah, thanks. Yeah, the skunk might be right there.
I'll go see.
Storm, I have three. Three. Don't go tripping and falling on your face over there now. Yeah, not yet. Not till they come walking out. You maniac.
I'll do one in the bush. Can I?
If you must. Careful walking up there so you don't trip. Storm, that's why I do this stuff. I have 3. I do this stuff not only because I enjoy to create and make videos and all that. I do this stuff in hopes that my kids can see and realize they don't have to be stuck in a mundane life that they don't like. That they can see there's other options in life. We don't have to be a slave to a job if we can figure something else out or pursue other things or several other things early in life. It took me and my wife quite a few years to realize we didn't want to be tied down to just one thing. But to not have our iron in one fire, but to have multiple irons with multiple fires going. And it's too bad that it took me this long to figure it out in things, because it takes a lot of work. It takes a lot of work, but it's a lot of work that you're putting in for you, for your businesses, for your family, for your people, for your friends, because really not necessarily having to go to a 9 to 5 doesn't mean you're not working as much. Usually it means you're working more, but you're working more on your terms. You know, I said it the other day live, like I've got, what do I have? I have 4 YouTube channels. This is the one that produces the most, which isn't a ton of money. It's really not. A lot of people who I talk to who are good friends are like, wow, that's pretty good. I'm like, yeah, but think about the cost of living and life and all that. It's not a ton of money. You know, I don't go on YouTube for the money. I create the videos here because I enjoy it. I enjoy having conversations and sharing my stuff with you guys. You know, there's a lot of opportunities, though, to be able to break away from a job that you really just despise doing, but you feel stuck at. There really is. There's so many things online you can do. So many different things you can pursue that you know, like anything, you have to put the work in, right? But to me, there's a difference. If I'm going to go to a 9 to 5 for someone else or for a company, a corporation, and I'm going to work and work and work, and I have only so many days I can take off because I'm sick or my kids need me home or there's a school play or a basketball game or it's hunting season or it's fishing season, or, you know, I'm just, you know, I don't want to be broke living on the streets, but I don't want to be working for money anymore. I want to be working for time. I want to work to have more time. We've been brought up in a society, we've got to keep up with the Joneses. We've got to have an amazing job with an amazing house, with an amazing car, with the top and the best of every and anything money can buy. That's how we're raised. We're raised to be consumers. It's not always our parents' fault. School pushes us in that direction as well. Society. But man, the reality is if anybody takes a few moments to really just think about what they're doing, what are we doing? What are we doing here? You know, not in a bad mindset, like, oh, what am I doing? Not like that. But in the mindset of like, why are we here and what is our purpose, right? Is it truly to go work our life away and miss our entire, like the important things and even the little things? I do believe plenty of people are content. We're working their 9 to 5s or working their 9 to 9s, 12-hour shifts. There's plenty of people, that want to chase that dollar and keep up with the Joneses. But I also think there's plenty of us that don't, that want to be able to. It'd be nice to have a big cushion in the bank, but also the concept of just living, being able to live. My buddy's got a great job, and I enjoy that I can go and bother him when I decide it's my lunch break and not his. Go over and bug him for an hour at his job or call him and hang out. He's at work. I'm just, farting around, if you will. Or, let's see, the middle of the day, my son wants to go fishing. I'm not tied down. Absolutely, let's go. I don't even think I mentioned on here to you guys this year. I've got an older daughter, and I've got another one who's still home. And I have my son. He's the youngest. This year, so many people will probably scoff whether they actually comment it on here or not. But the truth is, what I'm going to say next, you can be offended or not, but your opinion won't matter to me in all reality on this next topic. But we decided to bring him home this year, and he's been doing homeschooling, which has been a really amazing thing to be able to do. And anybody that thinks it's ridiculous at this point in this day and age in life should really consider who they're sending their kids to on a regular basis and what they would have to offer them instead. So my man's here. Instead of spending 6-7 hours a day at school, it takes him an hour to an hour and a half to complete the necessary tasks that public school requires. And then he'll have a few chores, nothing too crazy, because the point is to not create this person who's got to be confined to a 9 to 5 the rest of his life, but to create this person who understands the amount of work that has to go into something to have a good result, and hopefully he's able to do that for himself. So when I say we get to drop everything and go fishing in the middle of the day, we do. Hunting season's coming up, and he says, "Oh, Dad, are we going to be able to go hunting a lot?" I said, "We are." I said, "But you know what's cool? If you let him to make some decisions, He's growing into being a young man. He's got to make decisions." I say, if you double up on a class, one class a day, within a couple weeks, we'll be able to take a few days off in a row. We'll be able to take, not even counting the weekend, but if you double up on certain classes, make your 1 hour workday into an hour and a half or 2 hour workday even, man, we could take 2 extra days off a week and be in the woods before the sun's up. You wouldn't have to worry about schoolwork. Like, man, what a concept. I believe we've been fooled, possibly even duped into believing that we have to be consumers. Just going back here, Tony, yeah, multiple sources of income. Absolutely. You have less time now, Tony, now that you're self-employed. You got to manage your time better, my friend. It's what my wife tells me every day. Listen, I am the definition of workaholic. And I said it out loud. Hopefully she's watching. I could work before the sun rises until now. When I worked my full-time job, I had to be there at 6. I would be in my shop working on projects at 4 a.m. I only had about a 15-minute commute, so I would work in my shop. There were times I was out there at 4:30 in the morning, and I would work in my shop on furniture in small pieces until 5:30. I'd run in, grab my bag, grab another coffee, and jet off to work. Go to a 12-hour shift from 6 a.m. to 6 p.m. I would come home, hug the wife, mess around with the dog, see the kids for a few, and if we didn't have a sporting event or something like that, I would be back out in that shop. And there were times when I had orders or things that needed to be done. I could be out there, you know, let's see, get home at 6, have dinner, see everybody till about 8. Kids would be going to bed about 8, 8:30. They'd go to bed. Wife would nestle in for her own show or a book, and I would go out in the shop from about 8:30 or 9 o'clock until 10 or 11. Come in, shower up, go to bed, whenever that ended up being, and then get up at 4 and go back out. If you're working for yourself, you're hustling. You need to hustle. I appreciate you watching me during the day, Tony. But man, as much as I want your views, man, make your business successful. Get your work done during the day. Get your work done. Get your work done. Hammer it out. You're working for yourself, right? So while we talk about, breaking away from a 9 to 5 and having freedom and working for time and not money, time is also money. You have to have this balance. I'm not always good at. My wife is good at reminding me, though, to have it, which is great. If you have someone in your life that can be like, yo, dude, you need to check yourself. It's a good thing. It's an annoying thing sometimes. Jeez. But it's a good thing, I can get wrapped up and lost in projects. Just lost in projects. I feel God's blessed me with that ability to see things and, produce and imagine things and be able to build them for a reason. But sometimes I think the time frame is here and now, when in fact it may not always be that case. And so, time management. Just like tonight, one of the kids is doing homework. My son came out here to talk with me. They're all welcome to come and sit by the fire. They're not, just because, one's studying and he's winding down, he had stuff going on today. Tony, you got to figure out, you say you take on too many jobs, but do you take on too many jobs, or do you work differently now that you work for yourself? And then the next question is, how long have you been working for yourself? This December will be me working for myself full time in this December, 3 years. But I've been doing this stuff, this side business, quote unquote, side business hustle since, I don't know, 2011, 2010, 2000. I've been building rustic furniture since 2010, and I started chainsaw carving in 2015. So 2015, I created my first YouTube video for this channel. So that was kind of that. And hey, thanks for the gift. I appreciate it. So that was, it was a really cool thing. Wendy Lopez. Oh, Wendy Lopez was gifted a membership. That's awesome. I didn't know you could do that. Very cool. That's pretty neat. And I guys could do that. Cool, cool. But, yeah. I think my son that was just out here, I was saying we homeschool him now. You know, I, yeah. There's so many topics and so many things I could go on about with that. Bringing him home and reasons for doing it. But I think everybody has to make those decisions for themselves. It's kind of like when you decide to take your business, whether you're an artist or whatnot, and decide to do your thing and go full time. You know, there's some guidelines you should try to follow before you make the decision to just gung-ho quit everything and do it. Reality, right? Like, what's your debt ratio? Because that's always a fun one to deal with. You know, get rid of your stuff, pay it off, sell all the things you accumulate. Believe me, I'm a pack rat, so my wife is like, oh my God, get rid of crap, dude. Pay your stuff off, though. I'm not always the best at it either, but if you don't have debt, that's the less amount of chains holding you back. The less debt you have. Now, yes, debt can be great, can be good. Oh, you want to buy this, you want to buy that, you need a good credit score, blah, 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 blah. Yep, sure do. Need a good credit score to get in debt for bigger things, for bigger debt. That's the truth. One problem with school is school never teaches you money management. School never teaches you the reality of debt, credit cards, loans, buying your first home. School never teaches you any of that stuff. It doesn't teach you on car loans, car insurance. It doesn't teach you any of those things. Now, there are those parents out there, their kids go to public school and they're able to teach their kids all those things because they're just wonderful parents and they can do that. But 9 times out of 10 in the moment, you're working crazy hours and you do the things to keep the wheels turning, right? You don't teach your kids those things. Well, school's not teaching them either. And then they get out in the real world and they end up having to join the 9 to 5 team and bam, here they are. Here they are. Yeah, that is awesome. Your daughter homeschooled all her kids. They speak 5 languages. Still did dance, hockey. Graduated college before 18. Yeah, it's all possible. It really, really is. Fair enough, Tony. That's all right. Listen, we can love the thing we do and whine about it once in a while, you know? That's all right. It truly is. You know? We are all gonna have those moments in those days where people will be like people that don't truly know you would go, oh, you hypocrite, you finally get to do the thing you love and you're still upset. Listen, you're doing the thing you hate every day and you're upset. Every day. Yep. Just reading your guys' comments. It's cool. 10 people here tonight. What is up? Be sure to smash that thumbs up, guys, if you're joining. We are just talking, having conversation, hanging out. That ghost over there is awesome, ain't he? Smile on his face, waving. Oh, he's great. Yep. Appreciate you guys that have been here, though. Boom, 10 and 10. We are on 10 thumbs up with 10 people watching. I appreciate you guys. Thank you. We're just talking a couple, I can see like numbers changing. It is, you know, you have to wrap your mind around, sometimes you have to wrap your mind around other things to realize how good life really is. Might not make sense, I guess, but even in the midst, even in the worst moments, you know, there's still so much good. That I have to tell myself often. That's a tough one sometimes. There's plenty of struggle working for yourself, especially with the small business that I run. You know, I had a oh, what's that? Do some rough out cuts for you. Good, that's good. I had a buddy come out and visit. Oh, I heard some rustling in the leaves. I was thinking a skunk was sneaking up on me. I had a buddy come out and visit, buddy from Canada. We met via YouTube, I believe, and then social media, and we've chatted on and off for years. It's a rarity, you know. I don't necessarily let, no offense, you guys, I appreciate all of you. I don't necessarily let people from platforms directly, you know, like in my life, just like sometimes you just don't know who you're gonna meet, you know. But this guy, just, I say that, but over the years, I think I have actually planned out and met with specifically one-on-one, like two fans who kind of turned into friends, you know, that sort of situation. The first one was an older gentleman. Him and his wife were from California, and I haven't heard from him in years. You know, he might have even passed. They were an older couple, and now his name is slipping my mind because I'm not always good with that stuff. And we live in upstate New York, and so the leaves change in the fall. It's mountains and everything. It's a real beautiful drive. Things, if you live here, you can take for granted very quickly, but people that don't experience it, you know, every year of their life are always excited to see the leaves and the colors and things. And I remember he reached out and said, man, I follow your work, and actually me and my wife are we'll be coming across the country. We're in California. We're going to be coming out to New York to see the foliage this year. It's on our bucket list of things we want to do, you know, before the Lord calls us home. And I said, wow, that's really cool. And I believe he said they had family owned a property here they would stay at. And so, you know, they came into New York, and we met up, and I had him in my shop, and just such an awesome dude. And kind of pointed them in the direction to, well, kind of help them set up a time frame so they'd see the leaves at a great time. And yeah, able to spend the day, hang out, chat, and it was really cool. And then the next guy that I've met that's become a pal of mine, his name is Dale Chainsaw Carbs. He's out of Canada somewhere. If you're watching, Dale, you're like, shut up, dude. Really cool guy, really stand-up dude. You know, father, handful of his own kids, just a all-around great guy. And his family was coming down to New York to stay at a resort that we actually have those here. And he was coming down. He's gonna be about an hour away from me, and so we planned out a day, drove out, and we met. I had him come right out to the place. You know, we were kind of, in my mind, we were on the grounds where I was okay with that. And so we met up, had some conversation, and hung out here in the carving tent that you guys see quite often when I do lives. And I took him around to the log yard where I collect logs and do some videos, and I took him over to the carving yard. And at that point, he said something to me. I didn't realize that you all may not know that those are I have three different locations I work out of, as far as carving and getting logs and things. And only one of those locations is actually my own property. Um, yeah, so we were just kind of discussing what goes into creating my YouTube videos and my day-to-day work life, what it looks like as far as, work and family life, and work including YouTube and creating art and taking orders and all those things. And Dale said, man, I never realized all that goes into the work that you produce, from content to running your business to being there with your family. And he said, you should really figure out a way to convey to your subscribers and your viewers your story. And I said, man, I don't know how the heck to do that. Yeah, Tony, I've met a few crazies. That's why it takes a very, very long time. Him and I have chatted for many, many years. It wasn't I met him 6 months ago and we were hanging out sort of situation. I mean, mind you, I've been on YouTube since 2015, so it's been a while. But that door wouldn't be opened. No offense, Tony, that door wouldn't be open to everybody, you know what I'm saying? But he said, man, you should really figure out a way to convey to your viewers all that really goes into your videos. People see the work behind the work that goes. People don't see the work that goes into, you know, just getting wood and hauling your logs, cutting and hauling logs from one location to another. And in that location, I block them out. So I haul logs, cut them up, and block them out in one spot. Get them to size, just logs. Load them in my truck, and I haul them to another location, which is the carving yard. And at the carving yard, we try to block out as much stuff as we can if we're not going live. So we'll block out. Whatever we can do with chainsaw work, we try to do there. Big pieces, usually 3 feet and bigger. And then from there, they get loaded up in the truck, and then they come to my place where you guys catch live feeds and things like that. And then that's where I do my finer detail work or my small carvings and things like that. And he's like, man, you are handling logs 3-4 times before you're completed. I said, well, yeah. And so he asked to see what machinery I have, and I, being the smart mouth that I am, I lifted my arms and flexed, and I said, this is the machinery that I have. He said, you're nuts, man. I said, well, that's how I stay in shape. Figure the day I'm not supposed to do this anymore, the Lord will take away the good back he's provided me with, and well, we'll start breaking down like an old car, And then it'll be time to move on and do other things. But yeah, hope you guys are all doing well. I really am. I got 14 people on here with 10 thumbs up. Appreciate you guys joining me tonight. Just chatting, rambling on, Oh, let's see here. Love this. Ready? This is almost like gasoline. Yep. The ghost is alive. Yeah, he is. He's over there hanging out in the smoke. Baby kisses, that's where you're at. Broke down grandma. Yep. Well, you know, I figure if for those that'll be new carvers, younger people watching, you know, if you there's a difference between working hard and just beating yourself, you know, just like abusing your body and just wrecking your back at a young age. Like, yeah, you got to do some manual labor, but you got to learn how to do it right. Then you got to keep doing it, keep working that way. And I really think we can do those things for quite a long time. I've said it for a long, long time, but I told myself a body in motion stays in motion. And I've always told myself idle hands are the devil's handiwork. And those are like two great motivators, but also two awful motivators because they turn you into somebody that works nonstop. There's no time for rest. You'll rest when you're dead sort of mindset, you know? There's too much to achieve and there's too many goals set to relax. Now, my wife, on the other hand, she gives me a real hard time about that because I don't do a whole lot of relaxing. I mean, here we are, this is it, right? But she's really good at telling me we're going on a vacation, and I usually fight and argue and stomp my feet like a little kid because I'd rather just stay home and work than go on vacation. But it sounds crazy, right? But no, she's usually, nope, you're going on a vacation. That's the way it is. Too bad. Tony, appreciate the videos. Carving your new hobby. I appreciate that, man. I appreciate that comment. That is good, you know? To hear you stuck with it and you're not sure you would have stuck with it if you hadn't found my videos, that's great. Like, you know, as much as a part of me wishes that this channel was at 100,000 or 200,000 subscribers and I was raking in $2,000, $3,000, $4,000 a week or even a month like some of those channels are, I'm really happy that my channel can help somebody cultivate their art or start a new one or just create like this hobby that you can break away from this absolute ridiculous life that we are currently living in and be able to focus on something, run some loud machinery and maybe blast some tunes into your eardrums and just go with the flow and just create whatever the heck it is. Like, I hope that any of you that whether you carve or draw or whatever, you can get to a point of doing things where you don't feel stressed out about creating the art, where you can just run the machine safely and comfortably in just whatever you make is whatever you make. You know, you're not so set in terms and guidelines. Like when you first start out, I know it's like you want things to be very specific and exact, but keep in mind that's not what art is, right? And like even when I have customers and I'm making somebody a custom piece, I give them guidelines. I don't give them exacts and matter of facts, you know? I'm like, well, this is roughly what it's gonna look like. Here's all my other work. Do you like it? Yes, I like all your other work. Okay, but I want mine to look exactly, I'm not your guy. I can make something like this, you know? Yeah. Well, sometimes your baby kiss about your son working constantly. I think sometimes we find peace in that. It may sound crazy to some people, but sometimes there is peace in that busyness. You know, some people want to sit on the couch and put their feet up, and there's peace in that. But I think sometimes some of us in our brain, for whatever reason or whatever we've been through or however we've been raised or whatever we're dealing with or whatever, some reason, something has made it, at this point or at that point in our life or this point in our life where working constantly sometimes actually creates a peace. And, sometimes there's so much, what am I looking for? So much self accomplishment. Like, wow, I've completed all these things, that brings so much peace in completing things and tasks. That's not provided by any other situation other than the situation you've put yourself in to work so much. If you can work so much and be working that much for yourself, especially, there's so much gratification in that. It's when you have to work that hard just to keep the lights on and you're working that hard for other people that sometimes that satisfaction is just non-existent, and that's really tough too. Oh, God, I hope that's a soccer ball over there. Something white in the yard. I kind of want to throw something over there and see if it moves. Yep, let's chuck a board over there. It was a soccer ball. That would have been nuts if that was a skunk sneaking up on me. And I hit it with a stick. No, no. I've had them back here. We've had plenty. We've got at least half a dozen different skunks that stroll through our yard at any given time. I've got cameras all over my property, and we've had 6 different skunks in one evening stroll through. So that's fun. Lots of fun. Possum, raccoon, neighbors' pit bulls. Yeah, lots of stray cats. Tony, like fixing stuff. Wish you could fix stuff when you're on vacation. Yeah, I get it. I get it. I have a hard time sitting down and sitting still. This is it right here. Like, this is the still that I can get unless I'm sleeping. And that's like outside by a fire nonetheless. Don't get me wrong. I am a movie fan as well. I enjoy movies. Um, I enjoy occasional TV shows and things, but like I've said to people before too, and even people that know me now, like the couch does not know my name. Um, I haven't really wore a spot into the cushion. Usually, if I'm on my couch, and it's like sometimes I'll have my coffee on the couch, and I will admit, I have found myself on the couch editing videos rather than sitting at the dining room table because I was editing like all my YouTube videos for years at the dining room table, and it has become one of those things where it's like, ugh, I hate sitting there now. And so, you know, I've kind of moved it to the couch in the morning, but usually if anything's on TV, it's my own videos trying to get more views. And I'm editing and I'm planning. I've got, like I said, I've got, geez, what do I have? 4? I think I actually have 5 YouTube channels and 4 that I'm currently pursuing the most at the moment. The 5th one will begin to get more content during hunting season, probably as we get out into the wilderness more and I can get I like to share footage from the Adirondacks, just, you know, in the woods with no people and different scenes and shots on one of the channels I have. And so that channel tends to go stagnant during my busy carving season. And then as the hunting season rolls around and we have time to be out in the woods, and, you know, I'll set up GoPros and film that kind of stuff for that channel. Little tiny skunk came at you. The skunks really are not afraid of anything. And, you know, so I don't even know, like a month ago, I was in the shop or out in the carving tent, and I was live, and it was like 8, 9 o'clock, 8:30 at night with you guys. And it was raining and, you know, starting to storm and stuff. And I was like, well, I'm probably going to get off this live soon, you know, at that time. And I said, geez, you know, it's 8:39. Any minute there's going to be a skunk. I was sanding, and I turned back around, and there went a little skunk the size of, a little bit bigger than a football, all white, ran past the tent. And I remember saying, oh my God, there goes one. And then, I don't even know, it was probably 10 minutes later, one that was 4 times the size came rolling through, like after it. It was so crazy. And then the craziest thing happened about, so that was, oh boy, that might have been 2 months ago. It was about a month ago now. We have had quite a few stray cats, and one of the neighbors was feeding them. And in doing so, that entices the skunks to come in and eat the feed that's put outside. And so we were having a lot of skunks at that time. More so, I don't want to say it, but I haven't seen as many lately, but we've had a lot at that time. And I had my shop door open. The lights were on. It was about 8 o'clock, 8:30 at night. The sky, well, about maybe 8. The sky was blue. It wasn't black out yet. And I was in the tent working. Lights are all on. And so my tent is about 5 or 6 feet from the shop door. There's just a little spot there. And I'm working away, and I turn, and here comes this great big skunk. He's black with, I mean, he's beautiful though, you know, had a white underbelly, mostly black, with a nice white solid stripe down his back. And I saw him, and he threw me a glance. Almost like, you know, the big guy in the room throws you a glance like, all right, kid, pipe down. I'm here now. And I look at it, and I go, hey, get out of here. Get out of here. It looked at me again, just a little bit, and continued to walk. And I took 2 steps toward it. Mind you, there's maybe 10 feet between us. I said, hey, get out of here. Didn't even look at me anymore. Turned and walked right into my shop. Right through the door, right into my shop. Now, anybody that's been following me for a while might have, and he had a saunter. He wasn't running. He was just like, I'm on my time, dude. Shut up. And he was just doing his own thing. And walked right in my shop. And then I started sweating bullets. I'm like, oh, great, you know, because my shop is an organized, chaotic mess. So many people have anxiety when they go in my shop, but I love it. I draw so much inspiration from my organized chaos. And anyway, there's sticks and lumber, and oh, it's everywhere. And he went in there, and I couldn't find him. I thought, oh, great, you know, I've got, you know, to as reserved as I can say it, I have thousands of dollars of just material, you know, wood, between walnut and cherry and oak, and those things add up, you know, and burl and whatnot, and all these other things that if a skunk sprays in there, I might as well burn the place down and start over. And I thought, great, this is just, this is fantastic. And so I grabbed a couple of the cameras that I had in the backyard, stuck them in there, and was hoping he'd move around, but he didn't. So I went in and poked around and was trying to find him, and I found him under my lathe, his back end and his tail kind of sticking out. He's all calm and cool, but when I walked in, I remember saying, hey, skunk, hey, skunk, I'm in here, almost like when you're in bear territory hiking and you know there's bears, and so you say, hey, bear, and you talk loud and you walk loud so bears know you're in the area. So I kind of did the same thing with the skunk, and I went in there talking and walking and whatever. And so I found him, and I grabbed a small stick and I was rustling it behind him. I said, "Come on, get out of here!" And he wasn't moving. He was like, "No, I'm here to stay, pal." So meanwhile I'm drenched because I'm sweating bullets, and I went in the house. Well, did I go in the house? I might have went on my back porch, to kind of breathe for a minute. And I'll be honest, if I hadn't seen him go in there, I wouldn't know. There was absolutely, positively zero, and I mean zero, stink. There was no smell, no nothing. He did not smell at all. So he hadn't sprayed recently. He wasn't spraying. He had no, you wouldn't know he was even in there. You wouldn't even know a skunk walked through. And I went on my porch for a minute and sat and pulled up some videos, how to get rid of skunks. And I found that they hate white vinegar. So I got an old spray bottle. I think it was one I had for water for when I wet sand epoxy, and it says if you put white vinegar, and they don't like that, blah, blah, blah. So I put white vinegar in it straight, and I might have mixed a little bit, just a little water to stretch it. And I went back in the shop and was, talking to him, and he was still in the same spot. So I started spraying the floor well behind him and the back wall and everywhere he wasn't. Well, he wasn't moving. And then I remembered I had rodent, like these rodent sound things you can plug in, and they're supposed to send that sound off to keep rodents away. So I went in the house, grabbed those quick, and came out. He was still there, so I plugged them in all over the shop. And then I realized they're not in the rodent family, so those are doing nothing for him. But so, now it's been good 30, 40 minutes. He's still there. So I said, you know what, the hell with it. I'm probably going to get sprayed. So I sprayed him right in the backside a couple times with that vinegar because, yeah, whatever, And to be honest, he didn't do nothing. He moved forward a few times and laid back down. It was pretty funny. Yeah, I can't believe I didn't get sprayed either there, baby kisses. It's pretty nuts. So I went ahead and started like barricading things in the shop because I was like, all right, I'm still talking the whole time making noise because my theory is like a bear, don't startle them and they won't do stupid crap, right? They usually you get sprayed because you startle them or you run up on them or whatever. I don't know. Maybe he ate somebody's plants and he was stoned. I don't know. But I was setting boards up, kind of creating barricades so he couldn't go back the way he came and whatnot. And he worked up into the front corner of my shop where, again, there's all kinds of lumber leaning on the wall and things like that. And he was stuck behind those. I said, okay, now it's been over an hour and I'm literally, like, my chest and back are soaked. I'm just sweating bullets because, like you said, I should have been sprayed by now, right? I should have been sprayed by this skunk. And I said, all right, I'm done. I grabbed 3 cameras that I have hooked up to our system and put them all in the shop, 2 in the shop and 1 outside the door. And I'm going in the house, leave all the lights on. I'm going in the house. So I went in the house, and I was in the house 3 minutes, and all my cameras went off. And it alerts right to my phone. So I look at my phone, and there he is running out of the shop. You jerk. Followed the path I made and ran right out the shop. I said, well, that's good. Well, I say he ran out of the shop. I'm going to be honest. I had to second guess whether it was him or not because on camera, the cameras in the shop clicked on but didn't catch movement, but they clicked on in order but never caught him on screen. And then the one outside the door only caught something coming at the camera and going past it, but never the skunk coming out the door. So there was always that, oh crap, was it him or did another one run by? I said, I don't care. I went and shut everything off. I shut the door and left 2 cameras in there, and I haven't seen him since, so. That was that. I still don't know how I didn't get sprayed, but good times. Good times. Just a skunk story. Yep. Oh, stop it. Is that luck? Really? I don't know. It was a good story, isn't it? It's true. It's a true story. It's a good one, though. Yeah, I don't know how I didn't get sprayed, but yeah. I do believe, though, I truly do believe, I could be wrong, but I believe that they mostly spray when they feel threatened or you scare or startle them, kind of like a bear in the woods. Like if he hears you coming or sees you, or you're making noise, he knows you're there the whole time. And you're not being threatening, you're still calm and not acting crazy. Who knows? Maybe next time I'll take a full skunk bath. You never know. Never know. Yeah, Tony, I thought about borrowing one of those from a good buddy of mine, but that was kind of the consensus, yeah, you'll trap it in there, but he's going to blast everything because he's scared, right? He feels threatened. He's startled. Now he's stuck in a cage and he's just going to spray everything. Yep. So a few things that I have learned. They say mothballs, those don't work. There was a time we had quite a few in the yard, and I had read they do not like, skunks have a pretty sensitive nose, I guess. Believe it or not. It sounds ridiculous, right? Because they spray and they smell so strong. But they have a pretty sensitive nose to like citrus and vinegar. Everything online was pointing toward more like white vinegar, just keep it strong. But in the early summer, we were having quite a few through, and I'd come out and I'd eat a couple oranges out here in the yard, and I was throwing the orange peels in the yard, breaking them up and throwing them all over where they kind of would. I knew the skunks were crossing into my yard and coming up by the house, and I'd scatter them out that way. And it actually, for a few weeks, we didn't see any until, they deteriorate and whatever, and they don't smell, and I stopped doing it because I was like, oh, that worked, and I stopped. But orange peels, or lemon peels, that kind of stuff will keep them at bay for a while. And vinegar. White vinegar seems to work pretty good too. Yeah, I bet. Tony, throw a blanket over it, try to keep a lot of it like concealed. Oh yeah, Tony, that smell will burn right into your nose. You'll have that for probably a week or two, easy. Yeah, I think those baby skunks are kind of like, honestly, venomous snakes. When they're little, they don't know how to control it, so they can't just let out a hot small creeper, you know. It's like, here's the whole thing. I don't know what to do with this. Because they say like baby cobras and things are more deadly than a full cobra. Like a baby cobra snake will bite you and give you all its venom, where a full-grown cobra will bite you and knows to only give you a couple drops, or one drop, or some crazy thing like that I had seen. I believe skunks are like that too. They got to replenish that stink. So if they blast it everything all at once, and the attacker comes back, they're out of luck. Another quick one for you. I was early morning. I think it was like 5:30 one morning. I was stepping outside with my coffee, and I've got that hammock I was live with a while back out here in the yard. I was like, I'm gonna go down the hammock, have my coffee this morning, do some editing. I was walking down here, and I saw movement by the hammock, so I stopped. You know, the sky's blue, the sun's not up, it's still fairly dark, shadowy. And I look and I see a black cat, which we got black cats running all over lately. A mom had babies. She had more babies. She's on like her third litter, all black cats. We got like a dozen black cats running around the neighborhood lately. But I see the cat. I was like, oh, it's the cat, you know, whatever. Take another step, and I realized that the cat was right next to a giant skunk. I mean, like, you would have thought they were snuggling. It was insane. I was like, are you guys, I said it right out loud. I go, are you guys freaking kidding me? The cat's like just standing there. The skunks, they're like touching right there, standing there. And then the cat, I took another step, and the cat seemed spooked and took off running. And the skunk just kind of turned and walked, you know, nice and slow away. But I thought I was like, this is insane. This is insanity. Yeah, you can smell them on our property too, but you know, sometimes I wonder if you only smell them because they just had to. They sprayed somewhere else, and now if you think about it, when they sprayed, their scent is now on them, and now they're walking around smelling like a foot because they sprayed somebody else. And it's such a pungent smell, it just follows them. That's kind of crazy. His asthma would clear up when the thing's sprayed. Yeah, Pepe Le Pew, you're right. Tony, you're right. You're right. Pepe Le Pew, he's always after that cat. Meow. I actually, I could be wrong, but I think I read that skunks, are they in the feline? I think they're in the feline family. They very well may be. Again, maybe I'm wrong. Now after the live, I'm gonna have to go on and look it up and see if they are. Jump on Google. Part of me wants to say they are, though, in the feline family. So, I mean, Pepe Le Pew might not have been wrong. Yeah, we get them sometimes too with the ACs on in the summer. It's usually there's like 2 times a year they're the worst. Usually, like, it's like 2 different times a year. It's like mating season, and that's when they're really, really getting out and about like a ton. Smell them the most. Siri says no. All right. Well, maybe they're not. Maybe they are not then. Probably not if that's the case. Huh. 11 watching with 11 thumbs up. Cool. Well, just finished all my ciders I brought out here with me tonight, guys. It's probably about time I head in the house. Tony, you're probably 100% correct. All those cartoons are probably gone due to the majority of society not being able to handle it. Because people can't take a joke on anything, and everyone is offended by everything. And nobody can talk about anything. That is the insanity in which we live these days. Don't even know what to make of it. Although I think I am raising a 90s boy. Late 80s, early 90s boy. Some of our conversations and some things this young man says. Look out, world. Sometimes my wife has to tell us to act right, I guess. That's okay. I look at it like this. I'm not trying to raise kids everybody's gonna like. I guess we'll leave it at that. I appreciate you guys. I appreciate your time tonight. Thanks for hanging out, having a fire with me. I'm gonna head in though. And probably sit up and do some editing. Oh, he definitely will. He will be just fine. Just fine indeed. Appreciate y'all. I'll see you guys later. Have an awesome night.